Welcome back to my channel. So I'll be breaking down the weekly pairs I'll be looking out for to trade this week. So we have a couple of pairs: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven pairs looking out for. So for anyone that will give me a perfect entry, so I will continue with the trend. So the first one is USD card. So on USD card, let me go to the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame is bullish on USD card. As you can see, this is the higher high and this is the higher low. So price came back, did not perfectly retest it, broke under it. Now price is above. So, and when price was coming down, it was still bearish, but as price broke above, it's now bullish on the daily time frame. You see, so price broke above, it's now bullish on the daily time frame. So what are we looking out for is for price to come back here, retest here, give me entry signal, then I'll continue pushing the trade upside. So you see, the daily is also bullish, coming down to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is also bullish, but when the price starts retracing back to retest here, the 4 hour will turn bearish to retest here, then continue pushing the trade up. So the next one is GPP card. GPP card on the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame is bearish. The weekly time frame is bearish. You can see this is the lower high and this is the lower low. So I was looking to take the trade sell here some couple of weeks ago, but price did not respect it. So it broke it, retest it, use it as support. But last week we have a ginormous engulfing candle that engulf pretty much 7 weeks. So sellers are in the market. So what I'm waiting for, I'll be waiting for a week retest, a long week like this, to retest here, then continue the sell down. Or if not the retest, then it will be maybe some candles and continue the push down. But I'll be watching it to know what it's gonna do. So on the daily time frame, you can see on the daily time frame it was stalling here. It was stalling here, accumulating here before we have the push, but did not create a new higher high. Rather, we are now bearish. You can see we are now bearish on the daily time frame. So what I'll be looking out for, a price to retest here, give me entry signal, then continue the trade down. So on the 4 hour time frame, we are also bearish. So 3 time frame in sync. So this is a good trade. But what I don't like about this trade is that whenever it gets to this area interest, it normally retests it with like mini candle before you have the push. You can see here when it came to this zone, it retested multiple times, more than 10-15 times before we have the push. The same thing here, when it came down here, retest it before you have the push. You see, before you have the push. So I'm not expecting this retest now to be maybe 1 or 2 candle, so it will be multiple days or so then before we have the push. But if you give me a clean entry signal also, then I'll still take the trade down. So moving on to NZD USD on the weekly time frame, we are bearish on the weekly time frame. As you can see, is the lower low and this is the lower high. So price came up, or we test this zone here, we test this strong zone and have the push. And when price was testing here, the daily was bullish. That is why I did not take this trade down. Daily was bullish, I did not take this trade down. So because of this engulfing candle that engulfs these 4 weeks, so the daily now turned bearish, breaking this zone as well. This is a strong zone as well. So what I was looking for, I'm looking for a weak retest here, weak retest, so I have a trade down. And once we are having that retest, it will be a very clean pullback on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we'll have a clean pullback on the daily time frame to have the push down. So you can see the daily is bearish, this is the lower low, this is the lower high. And on the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame is also bearish. So we're having a retest here, something like this, then we'll have a trade down. So moving on, GBP CHF. So GBP CHF on the weekly time frame, we are bearish on the weekly time frame, as you can see. So price retest here, not a clean retest, but that is showing sign of rejection. So on the daily time frame, so we'll have a very clean area of interest there. So this is a very strong area of interest. As you can see, whenever we are on top, we are pushing up, using it as supports, using it as supports, using it as support. So now price has broke under, so we are anticipating to use it as resistance. So price will come here, reject from here, come here, then we'll have the push down, because the daily time frame is also bearish. Last week it was bullish, you see, but because of that candle, it now turned bearish. So waiting for pullback to have the trade down. Now see, even on the 4-hour time frame, we're also bearish, so we'll have a pullback here. To have the trade down. So AUD/JPY, this AUD/JPY is a counter trend trade. A trade I was looking at for last week, but did not give me a clean signal. But you can see doji evening star formation. So I'm still waiting for price to come down here, we test this zone before we have the push. So I'm looking to trade the pullback, probably, don't know, I'm just watching it to know what it's gonna do. So on the daily time frame, you can see the daily time frame. Last week you check my video, I was looking to sell from here, but price did not give me an entry signal. But price go up, did not create a new higher high. We are still bearish. This is the lower low here, you see, and this is the lower high. So price creates this bearish candle, so I'll be looking for a pullback here, then to take the trade down. And I'll go down, I'll take my profit here. Here is the place I'll be looking out for to take the trade up. So this pair will be the last pair under, because the counter trend trade. So let it be here first. I'll arrange them. So EJ EUR/JPY on the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, we are bullish. You can see we are bullish, with a very strong rejection from the area of interest. So moving on to the daily time frame. Daily time frame was bearish. Daily time frame later turned bullish. So I'm looking for price to retest this zone to have the push up like this. So price is already on the zone, so this one will be my number 1 pair for next week. very strong zone. As you can see, whenever we are under, we are pushing down. So here we test here 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we are above, so I'm looking for it to continue the push to the upside. So that is that. On the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame is currently bearish. Our time frame currently bearish. I'm rejecting the zone with this engulfing candle. So I'll be looking out for looking out for what to do this week. Once price open and see if I have a clean entry, I'll enter it. So last but not on the list, last but not the least on my list this week, we have USD/JPY UJ. So UJ is bullish on the weekly time frame. You can see this is the higher high and this is the higher low. So this was a very strong area of interest, but when it was coming back to retest it, the daily time frame was bearish, so that is why I did not take the trade. You can see. So now if we go back to the daily time frame, you can see when it was coming back, it was bearish, so I cannot enter a trade. And like I said, this 2 time frame must be in sync before I enter any trade. But when we have that last week engulfing candle, it was now turned bullish. So I'm waiting for a retest on this zone. This is the strong zone. You retest it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go back, so I'm looking for you to retest it here. Do the same thing what you did here. Break, retest, buy, break, retest, buy on the daily time frame. So and the 4-hour time frame is also bullish, waiting for a pullback here to buy. So and if you notice, this my area of interest that is very strong on the daily time frame. You see 1, 2, 3. If you go back, a very strong zone. So it's also a very strong zone on the weekly time frame, which is another advantage. See 1, 2, 3. See, so and what price will do is that price will have a week like this to retest here and now have the push up. So that is what I'll be looking out for. So let me organize it. See, EJ will be my number 1 pair. AUD/JPY will be the last pair because of the counter trend trade. So let me look for the second pair. Which one is closer? They're all the same thing. Yeah, USD is close. None of them is showing sign of retracement yet. But this one too is close. This one too is close. So this is close. This is at the area of interest. This is very close, but not. It has not started retracing. This one too is close, but it has not started retracing. This one too is close. Not started retracing. This one is kind of far, but not started retracing. This one is kind of far as well. This one be up here, but has not started retracing. So this one is the counter trend trade. That is why it's at the last list, but it's actually close. So that is that. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, and share. And I have other interesting breakdown videos on my channel. So thank you very much.